Hello viewers, welcome to the final chapter of Jin and Amara's story. The errors have been eliminated. Those three words appeared on a screen deep within MJ Holdings. The moment four children passed through those glass doors, a countdown commenced. No one realized they were being pursued. Security footage was being deleted, phone records were erased. Every trace of the children's visit vanished, but someone overlooked one camera, one perspective hidden in the periphery, and that oversight would alter everything. Stay with me. The black car that departed that night did not travel far. It circled back, parked 3 blocks from MJ Holdings, and waited. Inside, a man observed the building through tinted windows. His phone buzzed. Confirmation received. All 4 children were accounted for. DNA matches, 0% discrepancy. He smiled coldly. Good. Now, we await the opportune moment. But who was he, and why did he seek J-Men's children's demise? The answer originates 6 years in the past. Let us return to London, 6 years ago. Park Min-ho stood beside his mother's grave in Highgate Cemetery. Rain fell gently upon the headstone. Lee Sun-mi, beloved mother, 1965 to 2019. She passed away alone in a modest flat in Camden, a heart attack, a consequence of years of stress and overwork. Park discovered her 3 days later. On her bedside table lay an old photograph, a young woman and a powerful Korean businessman, his father, the man who ruined her. Beside the photo was a letter. Park had read it countless times since. My dearest Min-ho, if you are reading this, I am gone. I regret not being able to provide you with more. I am sorry your father never acknowledged you. I am sorry you grew up without the family name you deserved. But please, my son, do not let bitterness consume you. Do not become what he was, cold, calculating, cruel. Choose love, choose forgiveness, choose life. Your mother, always. Park carefully folded the letter, placed it in his wallet, and made a different decision. He chose vengeance. Park Min-ho did not merely desire wealth. He wanted Jae-min to suffer. For 6 years, he had meticulously constructed his plan. He had engaged investigators, tracked Jin's every movement, and learned about MJ Holdings' vulnerabilities. Then, he discovered something intriguing. Jae-min was presumed infertile. Physicians had confirmed it. The entire business community was aware of it, meaning Jen would never have direct heirs, implying the company would eventually require new leadership. Park positioned himself perfectly. He had established his own empire in London, forged connections, and earned respect. When the time arrived, he would be prepared to claim what rightfully should have been his. But then, an unforeseen event occurred. 4 children appeared. Park's investigator contacted him 3 months prior to the children's arrival. Sir, you must see this. Photographs materialized on Park's screen. 4 children, with gray eyes and sharp features. Unmistakably Jarman's. Who is the mother? Park demanded. Amada Kim, an American photographer, black. She met Jae-min 7 years ago in Seoul. Park's jaw tightened. He has children, apparently so, and they are brilliant. Gifted programs, advanced classes, excelling in everything. Park gazed at the photographs, his father's lineage, his brother's legacy, everything that should have been shared with him. Observe them, Park commanded. I want to know everything. 3 months later, Park watched through the cameras as 4 children entered MJ Holdings. He watched them proceed to reception, watched security stand frozen, watched as they demanded to see their father. He observed James' expression upon seeing the DNA results, the shock, the denial, then the acceptance. And Park felt something unexpected, not solely anger, but envy. Those children had accomplished in one afternoon what he had failed to achieve in 38 years. They had claimed their father, the message. It was then that Park dispatched the encrypted communication. Eliminate the heirs. Not because he desired their demise, but because he wanted Jen to experience helplessness. I wanted him to comprehend the sensation of having a family endangered, of being unable to shield them. But Park made a crucial error. He underestimated the children, back to the present. Kai awoke at 2 a.m. with a sudden thought. He retrieved his laptop and accessed the security footage he had secretly saved from their visit to MJ Holdings. Frame by frame, he watched. There, a reflection in the glass behind reception. Someone observing from the street, a black car, tinted windows. Kai zoomed in and enhanced the image. The license plate was barely discernible. He ran it through a database Leo had provided him access to. The car was registered to a shell corporation based in London, owned by Park Min-ho. Got you? Kai whispered. The following morning, the triplets did not inform their parents. Instead, they conducted research. Park Min-ho, age 38, real estate magnate, net worth £2 billion, born in Seoul, raised in London. Mother, Lee Sun-mi, former secretary at MJ Holdings. He's Dad's brother, Mina breathed. Half-brother, Kai corrected. Same father, different mothers. Leo pulled up more articles. His mother passed away 4 years ago. Heart attack. She was only 54. They stared at the screen. He blames Dad, Mina said quietly. Not Dad, Kai corrected. Grandfather, but Dad inherited everything, so he's the target. What do we do? Leo asked. Kai's expression hardened. We meet him face to face. Park received an email that afternoon from an unknown address. Subject: We know who you are. Inside, a single line. Rooftop of Latte Tower, 8:00 p.m. tonight. Come alone, or we tell our father everything. Park stared at the message. Then he smiled. These children were audacious. Very well. He would play their game. The night air was frigid on the rooftop of Latte Tower. Park arrived precisely at 8:01 p.m. 3 small figures stood waiting. Kai, Mina, and Leo, 7 years old, yet standing like warriors. You came, Kai stated. You threatened me, Park retorted. I was curious. We did not threaten you, Mina corrected. We invited you. Park studied them intently. They bore a striking resemblance to Jae-min, but there was something else, a fierceness that reminded him of someone, his mother. What do you want? Park inquired. To understand why you wish to harm us, Kai said simply. Park's composure faltered slightly. I do not wish to harm you. Then why send that message? Eliminate the heirs. Park's eyes widened. How do you know about that? We're smarter than you think, Leo asserted. Park laughed bitterly, clearly. He walked to the edge of the rooftop, gazing out over Seoul. Do you know what it is like to be disregarded? To know your father is alive, successful, respected, yet refuses to acknowledge your existence? The children remained silent. Our father didn't know we existed either, Mina said softly. For 6 years, Park turned. That's different. Is it? Kai challenged. We lived without him. Mom raised us alone. We were poor, we struggled, but we survived. You had a mother who loved you, Park said, his voice breaking. Mine died believing she was insignificant, that I was insignificant. Silence stretched between them. We are sorry, Mina whispered. Park's eyes welled with tears. Why? You did nothing. No, Kai agreed. But our grandfather did, and that is not fair to you. The simple acknowledgement fractured something within Park. He sank down, sitting on the cold concrete. I spent 6 years planning revenge, acquiring resources, positioning myself, all to make him suffer. Did it make you feel better? Leo asked. Park looked at this 7-year-old. No, he admitted. It left me feeling more hollow. Ya's small voice came from behind them. Uncle! They all spun around. She stood there in her pink pajamas, having somehow followed her brothers. Aya, Kai hissed. How did you get here? She said simply. I heard you planning. She walked directly to Park, looked up at him with those enormous gray eyes. You look like Daddy. Park stared at this tiny, fearless girl. I'm not your daddy. No, but your family. I can tell. She climbed onto his lap without asking permission. Park froze. My friend Jenny at school doesn't have a daddy either, Ya said conversationally. She says it makes her sad sometimes. Park's arms instinctively came up, holding her. Does it make you sad? He asked quietly. It used to, before we found Daddy. Now we have him. And now we have you too. I'm not, Park began. Yes, you are. You're our uncle, I interrupted. That means family. Something in Park's chest cracked open. All the anger, all the bitterness, all the years of pain, it poured out of him. He held this little girl and wept for his mother, for his lost childhood, for all the years he had wasted on hatred. When Park finally regained his composure, he gently set her down. I sent that message to frighten your father, to make him feel powerless. I wanted him to suffer. The children listened. But I realize now, Park continued, hurting him would mean hurting you. and you have done nothing to deserve that. What will you do now? Kai inquired. Park pulled out his phone, deleted the encrypted message, canceled the surveillance, erased every thread. I am going to make a different choice, he said quietly. The choice my mother wanted me to make. He looked at the 4 children. Will you take me to your father? An hour later, Jae-min's phone rang. Unknown number. Hello, it's me. Jae-min's blood ran cold. He would recognize that voice anywhere. His father's voice. No, not his father. His brother. Minho. I have your children. Jae-min's heart stopped. If you hurt them, I'm not going to hurt them. I'm bringing them home. They're the ones who found me. What? Your children tracked me down, confronted me on a rooftop, and somehow convinced me that revenge is pointless. They're terrifying. Despite everything, Jae-min almost laughed. Where are you? Downstairs, in your lobby. Security won't let us up. Apparently, I'm on some watch list. I'll be right down. Jae-min burst out of the elevator and stopped. Park Man-ho stood in the center of the marble lobby, surrounded by 4 children who looked utterly pleased with themselves. The 2 brothers stared at each other. Same height, same build, same features. One raised in luxury, one raised in poverty, both carrying their father's sins. Quote, Bow. Park said quietly. Jaime's throat felt constricted. You threatened my children. I did. I apologize. Why should I trust you? Park motioned to the 4 children. Because they gave me back something I believed was lost forever. What? A reason to move on. Jam looked at his children. Kai offered a slight nod. Mina smiled. Leo shrugged, as if this were all part of the grand scheme. Ah ran to her father and whispered, He's sad, Daddy, but we can help him. Jae-min lowered himself. How? By being family. That's what makes sad people happy. Out of the mouths of babes, Jae-min murmured, then stood. He looked at his brother. I cannot return what was taken. I cannot undo our father's actions. I know, but perhaps. Jae-min paused. Perhaps we don't need to be adversaries. Park's eyes welled with tears. Quote, 3. Jae-min crossed the lobby and extended his hand. Park stared at it, then ignored the hand and pulled Jae-min into an embrace. 2 brothers, separated by decades of pain, united by 4 children who refused to accept that their family was irrevocably broken. 6 months later, Parkman had divided his time between London and Seoul. He had now properly met Amara and apologized for his past threats. She had surprised him by hugging him and saying, quote, 4. He began attending their dinners. Initially it felt awkward, but it gradually became easier, then natural. He shared stories about his mother and his upbringing in London, and how he had built his business from scratch. Slowly, the anger subsided, replaced by a feeling he hadn't experienced in years, a sense of belonging. 1 year later, Park had become an integral part of their family. Jae-min orchestrated a special evening. The children were staying with Park and Helen for the weekend, granting them their first night alone together in months. Amara returned home from work to find the penthouse transformed. Candles illuminated everywhere, rose petals were scattered across the floor, and soft music played. Jin, she called out. He emerged from the bedroom, dressed in simple yet elegant attire. Welcome home. Her breath hitched. What is all this? A reminder, he said, walking slowly towards her, that before we were parents, before we were partners, we were this. He stopped inches from her. 2 people who couldn't stop thinking about each other. Amara's heart pounded. You didn't have to do all this. I wanted to. I needed to. He took her hand and led her to the balcony where a table for 2 was set. Seoul sparkled below them like a vast expanse of stars. Dinner first, he said, pulling out her chair. They ate leisurely, discussing everything and nothing, sharing laughter over wine. Yet, beneath the surface, a beautiful warmth simmered, the kind of connection born from complete understanding and deep love. When dinner concluded, Jae-min stood and offered his hand. Dance with me. There's no music, she said softly. There's always music when I'm with you. She took his hand and allowed him to draw her close. They swayed together on the balcony, her head resting on his chest, his arms encircling her, the city lights twinkling below like countless wishes. Do you remember that night? He whispered. 7 years ago. Every second, I wanted to stay. I wanted to wake up next to you, to ask your name. Why didn't you? Fear, stupidity, the biggest mistake of my life. She looked up at him. But we found our way back, because of 4 brave children who refused to let me remain lost. He cupped her face in his hands. I love you, Amara, more than I've ever loved anyone, more than I thought possible. I love you too, she whispered. He kissed her then, starting softly, gently, leading her to their bedroom, where more candles flickered. The city lights filtered through the floor-to-ceiling windows, casting a soft, beautiful glow. Jae-min slowly turned to her, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear. You're so beautiful, he breathed. So are you. He smiled and pulled her close again. They kissed slowly this time, savoring every moment, his hands gentle on her back, hers resting over his heart. I've dreamed of this, he whispered, of holding you like this, of showing you how much you mean to me. Then show me, she said softly. They moved together towards the bed, still kissing, still holding each other as if they would never let go. The candlelight cast dancing shadows on the walls. The music from the balcony drifted in gently. Everything was perfect. He laid her down tenderly, as if she were something precious, something sacred. I love you, he said, looking into her eyes. I love you too, so much. He kissed her again. Time ceased to exist. The world outside vanished. There was only this, only the two of them. Only love. 6 weeks later, Amara stood in the bathroom at dawn, her hands trembling. She had been feeling different for weeks, exhausted, emotional, experiencing something she couldn't quite define. The test lay on the counter, 2 pink lines stared back at her. Positive. Her hand flew to her mouth, and tears spilled over. That night, that beautiful, perfect night, had given them this. She pressed her hand to her stomach. Hello, little miracle, she whispered. She walked out to find Jin in the kitchen with the children. I need to tell you something, she said quietly. Everyone turned. She held up the test. Jin's eyes widened. Are you? Yes. He crossed the room in 3 strides, pulling her into his arms, burying his face in her hair. Another miracle, he whispered. The children erupted in excitement. A baby! We're getting a sibling. This is the best news ever. Park, who had been invited for dinner, stood watching. Amara caught his eye. You're going to be an uncle again. Park's face crumpled. Me, of course, you, your family. He had to sit down. The word family still overwhelmed him sometimes. The ensuing months were filled with joy. The children debated baby names. Kai suggested practical ones. Mina desired something meaningful. Leo repeatedly proposed names from his favorite shows, and Ya insisted on Sparkle Princess. Park found himself included in everything. Doctor's appointments, baby shopping, nursery planning. You don't have to come to all of this, Jin said. One afternoon, they were assembling a crib together. I want to, Park replied. I missed everything with your children. I don't want to miss this. Jae-min looked at his brother. Thank you for what? For choosing us, for choosing family over revenge. Park smiled. Your children didn't give me much choice. They're very persuasive. They get that from their mother, and their stubbornness from you. They laughed, 2 brothers building a crib for a baby they would both love. Grace Amara Park arrived on a spring morning, healthy, perfect, and loud. Park stood in the hospital room, holding his niece. She has Mom's eyes, Kai observed. And Dad's nose, Mina added. And Uncle Park's ears, Leo declared. Everyone laughed. Park couldn't speak. He just held this tiny life and marveled at how close he had come to destroying it all, at how 4 brave children had saved him, and at how family could be found in the most unexpected places. 3 years later, Grace's 3rd birthday party was a delightful chaos. Children ran everywhere, with cake and presents amidst laughter. Park arrived with his fiancée, Helen. They had met at a charity gala. She was a teacher, kind and patient, precisely what Park needed. Is this your family? She asked, observing the commotion. Park smiled. Yes, every loud, messy, wonderful one of them. Jae-min appeared beside them. Helen, welcome. Fair warning, birthday parties in this family are basically controlled disasters. Helen Loft. I teach kindergarten. I'm trained for chaos. Quote, Then you'll fit right in, Amara said, joining them with Grace on her hip. Grace reached for Park. Uncle Park, you came. I wouldn't miss it, princess. Quote, 3, you're silly, she declared. And you're bossy? Quote, 5, we did good, didn't we? You did good, Jin corrected. You kept them alive and brilliant for 6 years. I just showed up and you stayed. That's what matters. Quote, 8, Mom, Dad, Uncle Park, group photo. Quote, 9, everyone say family. Quote, 10, family. Quote, 11, he's brilliant, Park said proudly. He gets it from his mother, Jin stated. And his determination from his father, Amara added. Park smiled. And his courage from himself. When Kai crossed the stage, the entire family stood and cheered. Grace, now 8, shouted the loudest, "That's my brother!" After the ceremony, Kai found Park. "Thank you for coming, Uncle." "Of course, I'm proud of you." Kai hesitated. "I never told you this, but that night on the rooftop, when we confronted you, I was terrified." Park's eyebrows rose. Quote, Park pulled his nephew into a hug. Quote, 7. Quote, 8. Park's throat tightened. She would have loved you, all of you. 10 years later, Park and Helen's wedding was small and beautiful. Jin served as the best man. The 4 older children were in the wedding party. Grace was the flower girl, taking her job very seriously. When Park recited his vows, his voice trembled. "Helen, you taught me that it's never too late to choose love, that families can be built, not just born, that forgiveness heals what revenge only destroys." He looked at Jin. "My brother gave me a second chance. His children showed me the way, and you gave me a reason to take it." There wasn't a dry eye in the house. At the reception, Park pulled Jin aside. Quote, 1. Quote, Jamin clasped his brother's shoulder. "You're not merely a part of this family, you are indispensable to it." 15 years later, Amara found herself in the kitchen of their shared home. Strands of gray now threaded through her hair, and laughter lines etched her face. Yet, she had never appeared more beautiful. Jen approached her from behind, encircling her waist with his arms. "What were you thinking about that night at the bar when we first met?" he inquired teasingly. "Never regretting it," she countered, "but sometimes I still can't quite grasp where that single night has led." She turned within his embrace. 4 incredible children, a brother saved from his own self-destruction, a family that logically shouldn't exist, but undeniably does. "And you," Jamin added, "the most resilient and extraordinary woman I have ever known." "Please stop," she murmured. "You'll make me weep." "Good," he responded. "I like it when you cry. It means I've said something right." She playfully swatted his arm, a laugh escaping her. From the living room, a symphony of sound arose. All 4 children had gathered for Sunday dinner, accompanied by their own partners and offspring. Park and Helen were present with their twins. Grace had returned home from university. 3 generations formed a tapestry, a family that began with a misplaced hairbrush and a DNA test. "We should go join them," Amara suggested. "In a moment," she replied. "I want to hold you first." They stood together in the kitchen, simply breathing, cherishing each passing moment with profound gratitude. That evening, after the last guest had departed, Jae-min discovered an old photograph. 4 young children, mere 7-year-olds, yet already possessing the power to alter the world. He presented it to Amara. "Look how small they were," he observed. "Look how courageous they were." She gently corrected him. "They saved us all." Jam stated, "Me, you, Park, this entire family." "No," Amara softly replied. "They showed us how to save ourselves." Jin carefully placed the photograph on the mantel, arranging it alongside wedding portraits, baby pictures, and graduation snapshots, a visual chronicle of love's eventual triumph. "I love you," he said, drawing Amara near. "I love you too," she answered. "Every day, forever." Outside, starlight twinkled beneath the celestial expanse. This city, where they had met, where they had drifted apart, where 4 children had found them both and guided them back home. Some love stories commence with a kiss. This one was initiated by a forgotten hairbrush. Some families are meticulously planned. This one was fiercely contended for. Some miracles are readily apparent. This one manifested as chaos, courage, and 4 children unwilling to accept that family could ever be irrevocably broken. Jen and Amara's narrative stands as a testament that second chances are real, that love can endure years of estrangement, that children can possess greater bravery than adults, that forgiveness facilitates healing, that family is indeed a conscious decision, and that, on occasion, the most profound miracle is simply being present and choosing love each and every day. Thank you for witnessing the entirety of Jae-min and Amara's journey, from strangers in a bar to soulmates for life, from 4 children revealed by a DNA test to a family spanning generations, from vengeance and sorrow to reconciliation and recovery. Which moment resonated most deeply with you? Was it the children's bravery, Park's redemption, the family they meticulously assembled from fractured elements? Share your reflections in the comments section. If this story has touched your heart, please click the like button. Forward it to someone who needs to believe in second chances, in families that actively choose one another, in a love that conquers all obstacles. Subscribe to receive more narratives that reaffirm the significance of hope. Where are you viewing us from? Kindly inform us in the comments. Your unwavering support signifies the world to us. Until our next encounter, please remember, love is courageous, family is a choice, and miracles occur when we steadfastly refuse to surrender. Embrace love daily. We look forward to seeing you again.